Welcome to Toffee TV. We are looking back at the season that has just happened, the 2017-18 season. We've already discussed some things, so go and check them out if you haven't already. We're talking about the highs and lows of the season.
This will be a very quick video.
If it was a video just on highs, it would be a very short video,
yeah.
and it was a video just on lows, it'd be a very long video. But we're just gonna, I think we should start with the lows first. I mean, the season was full of lows, but what are the main ones that spring to mind?
Games or points within the season?
Well, whatever you feel is a low.
Is a low.
Cuckoo Martinez signing. Yeah.
I think not signing a striker was the first low for me when the window shut and we didn't have one in, because then you start to go, oh, right, this isn't gonna be the way we hoped it'd be. I think Koeman losing his job and everything around it, not necessarily him losing his job, but everything that was around it, the performances, the realisation that this wasn't going to plan. That obviously is an Everton, and then the club seemingly not having a clue who was replacing him for a few weeks. You know, it took 3 weeks, I think, before Marco Silva was approached.
Do you think that shows how bad the situation was, though, that they were prepared to sack him without a clear indication of what was going on after? Or do you think that shows how just bad things are at the club?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of both. I think it was unexpected. I don't think he could survive after the Arsenal game. You know, you get beat 5-2 at home by his side. You're supposed to be fighting, challenging with. And I know there was, you know, it was 2-1 when Ghana was sent off, so they made the most of it, you know, a team like Arsenal. But I think the board had to act. The defeat by Burnley, we went to Brighton and we didn't play very well down there and got out of jail in the last minute with a pen, and you know, the European stuff had gone on, lost at home to Lyon, then got battered by Arsenal. So there was a lot of stuff that wasn't going smoothly, and I think you should always have a plan. You know what I mean? And maybe with hindsight they should have sacked him after the Burnley defeat when he went into the international break. Maybe that would have been the time to do it, but you can understand them wanting to give him a bit longer. But even if we didn't sack him after that Burnley defeat, we should have then. Listen, we don't know if they were, but you'd like to think, or certainly I would, start looking at other managers and seeing what's available, because that's what top clubs do. They look around and go,
well, the cushion of Unsworth was there, wasn't it? And
well, that was, I think they wanted to give Unsworth a go. I think Bill probably was in Mashiri's ear going, you know what, let's give this, while we can take our time, see what's what, let's give David Unsworth it and see what he can do, and in the meantime, who knows, he might be able to steady it and then we can, whatever. So that was, I suppose that was a low. Somehow nice going in. But defeat, football wise, obviously Atalanta away, I think, was a low, because it was the first group game and you were like, get over there, a draw's alright, you know, maybe we can win, but a draw's alright. And then we'd go over and we were so comfortably beaten, and it was a few days after Spurs had beaten us 3-0, so you were looking for some kind of reaction. You know, and then we went and got beat 4-0 on the Sunday by United. It
sort of cemented how bad we were, because we come out to that the second week of the season, Man City split and Chelsea, and almost like the Chelsea one was a throwaway. It was almost like, well, you know what, it was the end of a tough week, it's Chelsea away, we've got a couple of injuries here and there, blah blah blah. And then come back from the international break, obviously the disappointment, I mean, a big low for me was not signing someone on transfer deadline day, you know, not getting the players in that were required that week. Then coming back, obviously getting beat by Spurs, and then going to Atlanta with a lot of hope, going, you know what, these are not a brilliant side, they're an okay side. and playing just with no belief.
I thought we started the game alright. We only had that little chip at 0-0 which the keeper made a good save from, and I think we'd had another effort on goal, and it was like, started alright here, but once they scored the first goal,
everyone's head just went, didn't it?
And there was like a gulf between the team.
And every opportunity they created was just like the same
thing.
And their number 10 just kept on getting hold of the ball, and we were just nowhere near it. Like,
that centre forward who doesn't even play all the time just had a soft one that looked a bit like Costa, and you're looking and going, why haven't we got someone like him who's just a stopgap almost, but can do that?
I think that was starting to get the realisation of that we had massive problems, and it was going to take time to sort them out. And almost with with what we faced of who we played, it was almost like, well, where are we gonna sort these problems out? And they were never really addressed. And that was the Atalanta, like as I say, like you said, away. Home was equally, if not worse. Because obviously it was Unsworth in charge then, and it was that idea of Unsworth was coming in to revigorate the players, or try to, and it was just like, you were just sitting there thinking, this is a bad bunch, no one knows how to get anything out of them. It's going to take something drastic, and that night we were just again all over the place. 5-1 at home by them. They weren't even not even a good side. No. They're not even a good side. They decimated us. They really did. And I know we had injuries and kids coming on the bench, off the bench and stuff, and it was just really, really bad. And then Southampton followed on from that, and Southampton was as low, I would probably suggest, as I've been as an Evertonian for a while, because I watched that game against, again, not a good Southampton team, a team that have just stayed up,
team that couldn't score goals,
and they battered. I think they scored 9 goals when they played us, and they scored 4. They battered us, like, you know. I know we got into half time at 1-1, stunner from Gylfi, but we were terrible. And I know that again, Baines went off injured, and the back four consisted of Williams, Jagielka, Keane, and Kenny, and it was just all over the place, and players just didn't know what they were doing, and we were conceding simple goals. You know, those 3 players on the pitch, and we conceded a header, you know, and headers, and it was Rooney was on the bench and he never came on, and again it was just like, who's in control, who is who's gonna lead, who is leading, who's leading on the pitch, who's leading off the pitch, and obviously that's when the decision was made to bring in Sam Allardyce, which, you know, some people will dispute whether it was needed at that time, but if someone sort of hands you almost a get out of free jail card, and you just look at, you don't look at the small print at well, you do, and you go, I don't really give a shit, we'll sort that out later, but for now we want this. So you know what I mean, like, it's like, no, if he can sort it out right now, we'll worry about all the other stuff later. And that was my sort of feeling on Sam Allardyce at the time. When everyone else was like moaning, I was like, he'll keep us up and we'll get rid of him, and that's happened. But at the time I was just like, we're going down, we're terrible, no one can get a tune out of us, the players don't look like they want to be here, there's no team spirit, there's nothing there, we've got all kinds of things, and everything starts going through your head. Then what will happen if, you know, if we go down, that's the stadium gone, blah 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 blah, and it's just all those things just create the panic. And that was horrendous. The Southampton game was just horrendous.
Yeah, it was a wake up call, probably not the right thing, but it was a real, like, eye opener of these players are just all over the place. They're absolutely all over the place. There's no togetherness. There's no. It's not difficult to score against, and it was a mess. It was a mess, and it was, you know, a couple of heavy defeats in a week was like, you know, we are in trouble here, and Allardyce come in, and you want to get behind the manager, so we come in and we're like, he might be all right. He's never had these players as good as this to work with, and obviously, you know, we had one of the highs of the season on the night he came in, and you know, we've not the high of the season, and we'll never know why it all clicked that night. We'll never know if it was David Unsworth doing, if it was the players responding because Allardyce was in the stands, or if it was just the way the game went and we got a goal and we got ahead and we felt confidence and everything fell from there. We'll never know, but you know, history books tells us we won 4-0 and on we went with
well
that.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, I mean, there's a couple of the lows, I'll come on to them, but in terms of highs, I mean, that week, the West Ham game, you know, winning that game 4-0, Rooney scoring arguably the goal of the season,
and a hat-trick,
getting a hat-trick, and then following on from that, the Huddersfield game on the Saturday. Even that whole week was a big high, because it was, by the time the Huddersfield game finished, you felt like we're going to be alright here. Got someone in who can organise us, if nothing else, and get us enough wins that we'll be safe.
We went 9th after that Huddersfield game.
Yeah.
Which is...
And then suddenly it was like, what was everyone worrying about? But it's about keeping that momentum up, isn't it? And but saying that, before that, you know, you think about it, Nias against Bournemouth, that was fantastic. I mean, if you think about it, that was a fantastic day, because that was like, he'd been completely written off. The manager had written him off. Most of the fans had written him off. We'd written him off. Everyone had written him off. You know, and you know, he came on against Sunderland and scored, and everyone was just absolutely loving it, because it was just like, yeah, it's right, Nias, you know, you've done it. He had his squad number changed as well to number 19 because Costa didn't get it. And then the Bournemouth game, when you know we're getting beaten, we're like, fucking hell, here we go again. And he comes on and scores, you know, a couple of decent. His first one was a great goal, and the second one was a really good striker's goal. That was good.
Yeah, was turned it round, didn't he? Come on, yeah.
It was a story, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You know, Pickford made a big save at 1-0 from Defoe, and then the ass comes on and tears the game on its head. You know, 3 goals in 2 games in a week. That's sub. You know, and Koeman still wasn't happy. You know, you could tell us, you know, the emotion. He just like turned away and stuff. But it was great. That was a high to see him come off the bench and the man who'd been written off to turn the game around. And you know, he's been the story of the season, I think. I mean, Pickford was player of the season because he was most consistent, you know. But I think the story of the season is Nias, because he's ended up being. It's
a massive shame that he missed out on the World Cup spot, because it would have been like capped off a remarkable story for him and a remarkable turnaround for him.
Mad that they haven't took him for 8 Premier League goals.
I know, you know.
And it's the hardest league.
I think I don't know. But and another one would have to be the Watford game.
Yeah.
2-0 down. You know, Unsworth looking for a home win. 2-0 down, just going into an international break, and again you're just like, fucking hell. And then suddenly, you know, the game gets turned on its head. Couple of substitutions, were brave.
Very brave.
We had to go at them, and suddenly they were gone, and the atmosphere was. You know what that day was, or that certainly that half was, because the first half we were terrible. I was thinking we were abysmal. But for that 20 minutes when Lookman came on and Dominic Calvert-Lewin came on, and we started having a real go with them, and the fans got behind the players, because you know we had a real go. Nias scored the first one, didn't he?
Nias scored the first one to get us back in it. Yeah.
You know, suddenly everyone was going, we can do this, and we did, and it was just unbelievable when you think about that game, how unbelievable that game was. You know, to go and get the to come from behind, and who got the second one? Was it Dom? Dom, yeah. Corner, penalty in the last minute, or what you think's the last minute. Baines puts it in. Was it Baines? Yeah. Baines puts it in, and then you go into the 96th minute,
99th or
something. Late. Tom cleverly gets a penalty at the other end and misses it, and it was unbelievable amount of emotions in that second half. Well, the whole game, unbelievable. It was incredible game, and that's the game of the season, really, isn't it? It's been massively overlooked, that game, of how important that game was. You know, Unsworth got the home win. That was a massive win, because again, it was one of those games, a bit, you know, you don't want to be cut adrift. You know, not cut adrift, but cut adrift in terms of everything.
Well, it was the momentum was going the other way, wasn't it? We won the game, and we done it in adversity, and the positive changes. Luckman came on and went at them, Calvert-Lewin, and you know, Nias. We all of a sudden we had a threat. We were going forward. It was, you know, when we managed to turn it round, you know, from 2-0 down. The penalty by Cleverley just topped. There was just the cherry on the cake, wasn't it? Because he'd said all week, you know, Watford never done the same and all that, like, and he misses the pen, and you know, and they've been really good that day, you know, under Marco Silva. I mean, when we go in and ask them, can we have their manager as well? No wonder he said no. But they played really well. They could have scored 3 or 4 and been out of sight against us, and didn't, luckily, and we ended up winning. And it was an unbelievable comeback, really, when you think about it. But and there wasn't too many of them in terms of great performance. That wasn't a great performance, great turnaround, and we done well to turn it around, because it was massive. If we'd have lost that, we then went and lost a week later. And
the next game after that was Palace, wasn't it? After the international weekend, we drew 2-2, yeah. And the got the retrospective. So no, that was huge. That was a huge game. That huge. You know, when you think about like picking up points in the first half of the season, you know, that game, and as I said, the Bournemouth game, they were real highs. As well as, I think the other one I would throw into that would be more. It's not high. This is more of a relief. Was Split. Getting the result in Split and getting through. Then they first half scoring and really had us pushed back, and then just after half time, Gylfi just hits one from nearly the halfway line, and you know, just bounces in, and then you're like, this is going to take a. I mean, we nearly conspired to throw it away, give a penalty away, which Pickford had to save, and that'll be Ashley Williams again, won't it? We nearly conspired to throw it away. They really threw everything at us, but we stood up and we got the result. We got the result and got through. That was a big relief, more than a high. But I'd say in the second half of the season there was lows. The 2 weeks when we went to Watford and we played Burnley the week after, and we still had hopes, I think, at that point of getting that 7th place. You know, we did a video on it saying, can we get it? Can we still get European football? Which is sort of like, you know, if everything fell our way, which it did for Burnley. But I think those 2 weeks cemented it. Watford going there and not even, you know, at 0-0 with sort of 10 minutes left, just putting Schneidlin on, and
about to put Schneidlin
about to put Schneidlin on, and then they scored, and then going, oh, we'll bring Dominic Calvert-Lewin on instead, because now we've got to, because we're getting beat. And then the week after, going to Burnley, and Ashley Williams was horrendous, Keane was horrendous, Pickford wasn't much better in terms of how he conceded the goals, and being 1-0 up and throwing it all away.
Played really well as well in the first half, because we were shocking at Watford. We didn't. I think we had one shot in the first half or something, and it was just terrible. It was a terrible performance. They were there for the taking. They were struggling. They were there for the taking, and we just didn't stretch them. We started with Umanias up front, and took him off and put Tosin on. So didn't actually change anything. Just, you know, when you were crying out for another centre forward to really stretch them, he didn't. He went like for like, and nothing changed. Then Tosin just became the man who was isolated, you know. And then to lose the goal was terrible. You know, Troy Deeney turning in the box. I mean, turns like a freaking tanker. You know, and then to Burnley the next week, and we actually played well in the first half.
Yeah, we did. We had 4 real good chances.
Theo Walcott missed some sitters, and Tosin scored his first goal, and it was a good header. And we looked a threat on the break, and we come out in the second half, and
they just put another strike.
And we didn't know how to cope with it. And it was, the goals were just bad goals, and you know, we missed a chance. Gylfi misses a chance at 1-1. They score. Williams gets himself sent off, and you just look and go, and you know, we dragged ourselves back into being able to challenge Burnley, and it was just it was the manner of it.
That's when I think people started to turn on Allardyce, wasn't it? Those 2 games,
because we went to, you know, United at home, Bournemouth away at Christmas was very disappointing. United at home, we didn't really lay a glove on them, that was disappointing. Liverpool in the cup, disappointing, but we done all right. So you were like, you know, never easy losing a cup game, but especially not to them. Spurs at Wembley was a pounding. Arsenal away was horrendous, by the way. Don't forget about that.
I know, yeah.
That was absolutely horrendous. That was up there.
That was one of the worst 20 minutes of football I've ever watched.
That was up there with Southampton for
me. To be fair.
Because Arsenal weren't playing great. And we went out, played a new system. Mangala had just come in at a train for an hour or something, and was
could be here all day doing this, couldn't we?
You know. Well, it was.
It was horrendous, because I remember after 20 minutes we were 3-0 down, thinking this could be 10.
Yeah.
It really could be 10.
And what was mad about that was when I first started going, I don't know what he's doing here, because if he's throwing the game away, which it looked like he was, why didn't he just play a different team?
Yeah, why did he play Tosin, and why didn't he play
Vlasic and have a real go at it? And I suppose another low will have been Adam O'Loughlin going out the door.
Yeah.
On loan. I know he wasn't playing, you know, and at the time you go, and it might be good for him, but Balassi just hasn't been ready, and all it's done for Balassi is it's kind of soured it with him, with the fans, because now the fans just look and go, get rid of him, he's crap, and he's coming back from a horrendous injury. It takes time, and Lookman should have been the one that was playing, and Balassi should have been his replacement with 20 minutes left. Do you know what I mean? And felt the way in, and chopped. They should have been the 2 that chopped and changed, with Walcott on the other side, and Tosin would have given us a real dynamic front 3, and that was a frustration. So you're right, I mean, we could be here all night, but the real lows of the second half of the season for me was, the worst was without a shadow, without Arsenal, because it was just pathetic. I mean, we done okay at home, really, like we did last year. We done quite well at home. We won a lot of games we probably should win. Liverpool we should have beat. Chances we missed at the end of that were, you know, criminal really for a derby match. Don't care whether they'd rested a few of their players. The starting 11 still cost more than ours and things like that, so they were there for the taking. You know, it was only really Mohamed Salah that didn't play. The other 2 played at some stage, and we missed good opportunities at the end of that. So, you know, frustration with that, but it's difficult to pick a proper high out, because it was just so bad.
Yeah,
so bad.
It was. I mean, as I say, most of the wins second half of the season were more like just relief, weren't they? You just won the game and you got through it. Do you know what I mean? There was no sort of like, oh yeah, amazing.
The only one I would say that we won away from home was Huddersfield, which we won without any real.
Newcastle away was.
That was a big win.
It was a big win. It was a big relief, and it obviously was kept us ticking over. But more, I don't know. The enjoyment was taken out of the games in the second half of the season, because there was no entertainment. There were just games to win. And
I think that's right. What you just said. I think that's the low. Ultimately, we can pick games out, and we'll always have low points in a season. You'll have games where you go, we didn't even turn up. Yeah. Koeman's one at Chelsea, you know, horrendous performance and stuff like that. Anfield, and that, you know. But for me, the overriding factor, and probably for a lot of people, and probably you, is the low point is the performance level of the players throughout the season has just been really, really bad. I don't think there's... Can you honestly say... We talk about the high point of that Watford game. The crowd won the Watford game because the emotion when they scored, and that was him, just being him, chasing everything down, got the crowd going, and they started like shitting a bit then because the crowd were involved. But can you honestly, with the exception of West Ham, can you honestly pick a performance out where you went, we were brilliant that day, really, really good?
There was none.
And that's
there was none.
In a season when we played 57 games.
There wasn't one performance that you pick out and go, that was magnificent.
West Ham was very good.
West Ham was good, yeah.
Because we did what we needed to do, and we got the goals. But for
after the half time, when they came out after half time,
they had the goal,
and obviously they missed the penalty, and then we got the goal. That was very, very nervy, that game, and then we went on and
oh, sorry, another high.
Go on.
Another high, because the scar, Seamus Coleman's return.
Oh yeah,
the performance against Leicester that night, and is just having him back, and Bainesy, but just having Seamus because of the injury, just having him back was a massive thing for us.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Having him back was brilliant.
But again, the overriding thing will be performance level, and that when people say, what more do you want? I want to see my team look like they can play a game of football. Our teams, go and have a look at stats even under Koeman. We'd have 20 shots in a game, and I wouldn't say Koeman's football was great, far from it. You know, Moyes' teams would have some. Remember us going to Fulham and having 34 shots away from home, 34 attempts at goal away from home. You know, true. Under Sam Allardyce it was 8 and 9, 1 on target. That's what more we want. We pay a lot of money to go and watch a game of football. We want to be entertained. We know we won't win all the time. We know that. We know we're not winning trophies regularly, but we at least want to look like a football team.
I think Watford was the one where, sorry, I'm just thinking the Watford one for me was just, I think that was just, as you just said before, that it was the pure emotion of the night. It was the ups and the downs, and whereas other games that there was other games at Goodison, and that Bournemouth was a bit like that as well, but there was other games where they were just wins.
West Ham was a big win though.
Oh, it was. That whole week. That night and that whole week was huge. Because we've gone
17th, haven't we? 17th.
That was a big week. That was a huge week. It just turns into individual sort of highs and lows of
the
one
wins game. You were just like, you know.
Oh, the second half of the season, the wins were just like, you were like, Leicester ticked it off. I mean, Leicester, we were very, very comfortable till they got the penalty, which was stupid by Rooney. Palace was pretty comfortable win. Any of them really, any of the ones we won second half of the season were good. We're pretty, standard
routine wins,
standard. But the emotion involved in the West Ham game and the Watford game, Huddersfield was quite straightforward second half. Obviously the second goal was a big thing, but you're right, there's none you can really say, oh, we were magnificent in that game, or because even in the Europa League, we won one game.
One of our best performances of the season was with Limassol.
But that probably was our best performance, but it's who we were playing against.
Yeah, but they come to Goodison and got a draw.
I know.
With allegedly our first team.
Which was a low as well.
So that kind of shows you, doesn't it? We went over there and we had Klassen in the midfield with Schneiderlin. We had Luckman playing, Morales playing, Fraser Hornby. We had Harry Charles, who's a midfield player, right side, playing left back, and was very good. When you go from Morgan Freeman, so you go through the team, young Anthony Gordon came on, 16 years of age. We went and we looked like a football team, and we were playing away.
But that's what makes it more annoying about Luckman though, isn't it? When you come out of low. I mean, I was fuming that night. I was absolutely fuming. That was the play when we played Leicester. I was fuming that night, because it was just the way it was done, the way it was announced like 10 minutes before kick-off.
And he said 2 weeks earlier he wasn't going to let him go out on loan.
And then he wanted him to go to Derby, and the kid was like, no, I'm insistent. That really pissed me off for all those reasons. And we've seen him a couple of weeks before, or 3 weeks before, whatever it was, in the FA Cup against Liverpool, coming on, and people were like, who's this Luckman? Like people who don't, and at the time, I mean, even myself, I was like, yeah, but he doesn't fit and starts, and every time he'd had a start, he was a bit disappointing. But again, he was another one like Vlasic or whatever. You put him in, and then you don't see him for like a month or whatever. Whereas what it's been proven at over in Germany is that he needed a run of games to just pick up the pace and other people getting to know him. And you think the second half of the season, there's been plenty of opportunities when that could have happened for him, when he could have played, when Blasie's played and he's been garbage. Or even when Walcott has played, he could have been left, he could have been right, he could have crossed, over, and you think with Baines coming back and with Coleman coming back,
like the last 6 weeks of the season, we've had nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Been safe since we were safe.
Well, technically we've been safe since February.
Yeah, but when we beat Brighton, we had 37 points. We were safe that day early, and then we beat Stoke the week later. Since Stoke, we have 40 points. Since then, we could have played. I know, you know, Blassie hasn't been playing well, so Lookman could have played those last half a dozen games and really got himself up to speed and all that. But you're right, but sometimes a player going out on loan like that helps them, and he'll come back.
It's whether he wants to come back.
Someone,
no, I know what you mean, but
I think he does want to come back.
I mean,
I think he said himself he's back at Everton, and I think if you know the new manager will now see he's done it at the top level in Germany, it'd be like, well, yeah, he can do it. He's done it a bit.
Yeah, that's like a high and a low, isn't it?
So
it's a positive and a negative.
The negative was we should have had him with us, but the positive is he's grasped his chance while he's gone over there.
True.
Ended up with 4 goals. So
let us know your highs and lows of the season. I'm sure you'll have your own experiences. Listen, you might have gone to a game and it might have been shite and might have got beat, but you might have had a boss day. You might have, that's football for you, isn't it?
I'm sure most of the away fans have boss days.
They do have boss days, yeah.
Otherwise, why would they go? It's not the football, is it?
That's actually very, very true. Yeah, let us know. Listen, it might have been going. I mean, I think for loads, like the likes of Split would have been a big high because it was a massive, you know, don't go over there, and then a lot of people went over there and had a great time.
Safe.
Yeah, and had a great time. And
Rouge and better.
Yeah, listen, it's all about experience, isn't it? And listen, I went to Lyon and we got beat, and it wasn't great, but you know what? I had a good time. I'd rather have seen us win, because obviously you would always rather see your team win, but it was a good experience. Like following Everton.
You went to Lyon, you seen Ashley Williams and Morgan Schneiderlin, so in the same team, so it was all good.
Yeah.
And Gylfi up front.
Gylfi
actually played quite well.
He did alright. That plan nearly worked.
It did. He missed 2 good chances.
There was the one just after that time. Yeah. It would have made it 1-1.
No, they made it 1-0.
1-0, sorry, yeah.
0-0, yeah. We just done, that was the time when we just concede 1, it was 3. Just goal. Because everyone was like, the plan went, once 1 went in, everything fell apart.
It did. Yeah, so let us know your highs and lows of the season in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out all the other videos we're doing as we look back on a horrendous season. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.